Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today we're here. We're at the end of 2020. This is going to be my top 50 albums of the year list. So obviously it was a very strange year. It was a very stressful year for everyone. Before I get into the list, just wanted to shout out all the artists that actually ended up dropping music. Obviously, it was a lot different of a landscape to market yourself. There was no touring. So, kudos to all the artists out there still releasing everything, keeping everybody going, because, obviously it means a lot to all of us listeners and music lovers out there. And so without further ado, I'm going to jump right into this list. I'm going to count down from 50 to 1. Not going to really spend a lot of time on each record, as that would make this video really long, but I'll try to scatter some thoughts in there. And, as the year progresses, as every year progresses, opinions can change, like with myself. So some records kind of got bumped up on the list. A lot of records also jumped back down on the list. Other records didn't make the list. And there's a few albums on here I didn't end up reviewing just for one reason or another, but they end on the list. And of course, this is all subjective, so these are just my favorite albums of the year. I suppose I go into this every year end with what record I ended up playing more than another. Maybe it has a personal connection to me, but it's really all about like an enjoyment factor. And if you're excited for this video, make sure to drop a like down below or share it. That really helps the channel out. I really appreciate everyone that watches. And also, feel free to leave your year-end picks in the comment sections down below. Love to hear from you guys and see maybe something I missed. But without further ado, let's get started at number 50, which I'm kind of cheating here a little bit. I'm going to put 3 records tied at number 50 by Hudson Mohawk. I have BBHE, Poom Gems, and Airborne Lard. This is 3 records that he dropped this year of a collection of B-sides, older material, maybe some new stuff thrown in there. All equally as enjoyable, colorful electronic bangers from Hudson Mohawk, so they sneak into this list. At number 49, I have Lauren Bousfield's Palmipsest, which I'm still not sure if I say that right or not, but a pretty wildly abrasive and jittery, off-the-walls electronic pop record that I think is pretty cool. At number 48, I have Sorry with 925. At number 47, I have the extremely heavy Endless Wound from the metal band Black Curse. 46, I have Nicolas Jaar's Cenizas, one of many records that he dropped this year that will show themselves later on in the list. At number 45, I have Carly Rae Jepsen's dedicated B-side, which is another collection of razor-sharp pop tunes from Carly that are equally as enjoyable. At number 44, I have what is maybe the most memorable record for me that came out this year, which Clowncore's Van. Number 43, I have a sweet electro-pop record from Georgia, Seeking Thrills. Number 42, I have the sort of left-field, futuristic IDM banger of a record from Kelly Lee Owens' Inner Song. Coming in at number 41, I have Dorian Electra's My Agenda, a little bit more of an experimental detour for Dorian, but still a pretty solid record overall. At number 40, I have a record I did not review this year from Horse Lords, The Common Task, one that I caught later in the year, but man, is it a really strange avant-garde rock record that I really think you should check out if you're into that kind of stuff. Number 39, I have the abrasive electro-pop record from Girls' Rituals, Crap Shit, the awesome sequel to Reddishness. At number 38, I have Mind Jungle from Acemo. At number 37, I snuck in a jazz record here. The only one that makes my list for 2020 is More Mother's Circuit City, who's just proven herself to be like a Swiss Army knife going in between genres this year. At number 36, I got a collection of rougher outtakes and demos from Dean Blunt on Roach's 2012 through 2019, which is a pretty cool odyssey through a ton of different genres and rough takes and lo-fi music and hip-hop. At number 35, I have the dynamic duo of Armand Hammer's Shrines, Mr. Billy Woods, and Euclid, picking up right where they left off from the last one and putting out another awesome record. At number 34, I have a record here that kind of snuck in later in the year from DJ Sabrina the Teenage DJ, Charmed. I mean, I didn't review this record, but it's a pretty awesome 3-hour-long house record that is full of gems here and there, a lot of endearing melodies in there that I think could catch the ear of Chromatics fans. At number 33, I have The Weeknd's After Hours. Here's a record that really grew on me this year, actually, upon its initial release. It seems to just kind of be getting overlooked from everyone left and right, but this is a fantastic record from Abel. Love the production on here. A lot of good melodies and hooks all across it. At number 32, I have the really slimy and weird dance record from Sewer Slut, Draining Love Story. And at number 31, I have the Soft Pink Truths Shall We Go On Sinning So That Grace May Increase, a really nice and relaxing ambient record that came out earlier this year. At number 30 was a pretty eclectic rock record from Dope Body, Homebody. At number 29, I have Natalia Lafourcade's Un Canto por Mexico, another just unbelievably enchanting record from Natalia that I just, can't get enough of her vocals. At number 28 is another sort of left field dance record from Jessie Lanza, All the Time. That's got some quirky production on it and some really catchy hooks as well. At number 27, I have the second album that Nicolas Jaar released under his own name, Tell Us, which I ended up enjoying a little bit more than Cenizas. And at number 26, I got Fiona Apple's Fetch the Bolt Cutters, a pretty solid album that kind of fell off a little bit for me this year, but this thing is just getting album of the year from like every single major publication, which I could see why, but just maybe not for me. At number 25, I have King Krule's Man Alive, which might be my favorite King Krule record to date so far. Some really crushing melodies in there and really awesome production from Archie. At number 24, I have an off-the-wall cyberpunk hardcore mashup of an album from Machine Girl, U-Void Synthesizer. Just love the energy on this record and how just like abrasive it can be at times and just disorienting. At number 23, I have Declan McKenna's Zeros. Kind of throwing it back on this one to like the David Bowie days of classic rock, and I think he does it really well. You don't really hear too many records come out in this style, and I thought this one was pretty solid. At number 22, I have Rap Ferreira, aka Milo's Purple Moonlight Pages. Just a really, really solid and consistent abstract jazz rap album from Rap Ferreira over here that I heard there's a follow-up maybe coming out soon, so I'm pretty excited for that. And at number 21, I have Shye's Obscura, which is a little sweet, kind of relaxing and gentle ambient record that came out in January earlier this year, which was kind of like the calm before the storm for me after everything started going crazy. At number 20, I have the blistering breakbeat record from MoMa Ready, Gallery S. Lots of high energy on this one that I think will catch Death Grips fans. And at number 19, I have a meme of an album from The Garden, Kiss My Superbowl Ring. I mean, this thing sounds all over the place at times. There's wild genre mashups here, kind of reminding me like what 100 Gex does. But I really like this album. I mean, it's just interesting, and it stuck with me since it came out. At number 18 was a record that I totally slept on from the middle of the year and didn't review. The Koreatown Oddities' Little Dominique's Nosebleed. Really, really fantastic left field abstract hip-hop record over here that will definitely catch the ears of like Madlib or Quelle Chris. At number 17, I have another breakout artist from this year, Gene Dawson's Pixel Bath. Really, really like this record. I mean, it just kind of has a lot of sweet undertones to it in the melodies, and I think he has a bright future coming. At number 16, I have the unbelievably smooth and endearing pop record from Jessie, Ware, What's Your Pleasure? Just a really steamy and sensual listen that I just can't get enough of. At number 15 is the album from Yves Tumor, Heaven to a Tortured Mind, a record that kind of blew me away upon impact, but I've cooled off on a little bit, but still a really solid album from Yves Tumor, probably his best to date. Really eclectic mix of influences going on here as he's kind of like a genre chameleon, and just looking forward to whatever he's going to do after this one, honestly. And coming in at number 14, I'm going to cheat a little bit again here with Arca's Diva Experimental FM. Now, this is a single, but it's over an hour long, so it pretty much is like an album's worth of material if you sit through this thing. It is unbelievably blistering. It's kind of like Death Grip's Steroids Megamix EP on steroids. Really, really wild production and sound play on here that you gotta hear from Arca. And taking a turn from the craziness on Arca's release to a more gentle and intimate album, at number 13, I have Okyong Lee's Yeo Nuon. I don't know if I'm saying that right here, but unbelievably captivating and just gentle release here that feels like you're sitting in front of a window on a rainy day, drinking some wine, and has a lot of like cinematic undertones to it as well. It kind of feels like you're in a movie when you're listening to this. Coming in at number 12, I have another record or collaboration here featuring More Mother, and that's More Jewelry, True Opera, an absolutely blistering noise rock record here that brings it back to the classic days of noise rock and has a lot of like Mission of Burma undertones to it in its bass. But yeah, I mean, this thing was just awesome. I really really hope it's not just a one-off and there's another one that might come off down the line. Landing at number 11, I have Matmos's The Consuming Flame, which, whew, I mean, this is a big album. It's 3 1-hour-long tracks over here. There is so much going on, tons of collaborators, all different types of genre crossovers mashed up here to make a really invigorating listen. And now we're heading into the top 10, and kicking off at number 10, I have Gorillaz' Song Machine Volume 1, which is an album that kind of surprised me, you know. I mean, their comeback with Humans I thought was just okay, but some enjoyable tracks on it, and not really much since has like grabbed my ears. But this album slaps. It's got an amazing feature list on it, and you know, whenever there's a Gorillaz album that comes out that's this good, it's gonna probably land in my top 10 as I'm a big fan, and this record here is no exception. Probably their best since Plastic Beach. At number 9, I have Backwash's God Has Nothing to Do With This, Leave Him Out of It. This is the breakout artist of 2020 for me, and this record over here is just an amazing combination of like trap and rap aesthetics with metal, and it's just got so much going on. It's kind of creepy with a lot of like witchy lore surrounding it. It just really has me intrigued in Backwash in general, and I'm extremely excited to see what she's going to do on a follow-up to this one. At number 8, I have the third project that Nicolas Jaar released, this one under his Against All Logic moniker, 2017 through 2019. This one was pretty awesome. A little bit stranger than the one that preceded it, but there's some really big standout tracks on here, and my favorite track of 2020, Penny, which has such an amazing feeling to it. Yeah, I mean, I just love Nicolas Jaar and how he treats sound, and, you know, I want to see him continue on this series of Against All Logic, honestly, because I think it's his best work. At number 7, I have the extremely angular and unpredictable noise rock record from Deerhoof, Future Teenage Cave Artists. I mean, yeah, this thing is just a ton of fun to listen to for me. You know, it's all over the place in a way, but together at the same time. It's kind of strange, and it has some of my favorite musical moments of 2020 on it. Coming in at number 6, I have Cindy Lee's What's Tonight to Eternity. Whew, I mean, I could see this record being an acquired taste for a lot of listeners, but I can't just help but sit back and appreciate the soundcraft going on here from Patrick, who used to be in the band Women. But yeah, I mean, this record sounds like, you know, the long-lost soundtrack to The Shining, or maybe, you know, being trapped in that Shining hotel. I mean, it's pretty abrasive, it's extremely noisy at times, but then there's like this old-school doo-wop feel going on. It's such a crazy combination of worlds. I can't get enough of it still. Pretty big standout. If you did not listen to it, highly suggest checking it out. Landing at number 5, I have Ichiko Aboa's Windswept Adan. Hands down the most beautiful album of 2020 in my opinion, one that just continues to grow on me and captivate me as a listener. There is just so much intimacy in these melodies. Everything feels so immediate and like important when you're listening to it. It's a very strange effect. It's just so relaxing and gentle. I mean, you gotta hear it if you're into this kind of stuff. And landing at number 4 is Neptunian Maximalism's Owens. I don't know if I'm saying that right here, but if you've been following my content from earlier this year, you'll know I gave this record a 10. It did blow me away on impact. I mean, I still really enjoy it. It's a really odd combination of experimental art rock and avant-garde jazz. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I think there's a lot of crossover appeal here with Swans fans, but you know, not a record that I'd listen to every day, obviously. I kind of knew this was going to happen to me in a way, but, you know, still like it, still think it's pretty awesome to listen to. Coming in at number 3 is Black Dresses, Peaceful as Hell. Now, I did not review this record formally. I did obviously listen to it when it came out. You know, this one grew on me more than any record probably in 2020. You know, it didn't really blow me away on impact. I don't know what it was. I really don't. Like, I wasn't hearing these tracks in the right context for some reason. Over the years' progression, it started to click with me, and then it really clicked with me to the point where I think this is the best Black Dresses album overall. Unbelievably wild combination of noise and electro pop going on here, and almost some like 90s rock throwback towards the end as well. I mean, I just really hope that there's another Black Dresses album that comes out, because I did hear that they broke up, but who knows? I mean, this one, if they don't release any more music, they ended on the highest note they could possibly end on. Coming in at number 2 is from Clipping, Visions of Bodies Being Burned. Yeah, I mean, they knocked this one out of the park, in my opinion. Wasn't too blown away by the first rendition of this like horrorcore concept that they have going, but this one right here, I think they improved on all fronts with it. You know, if you're a horror fan like myself, I think there's a lot that you'll get out of this with all the references and the lyricism, but just how everything's executed is just so perfect. Not just like for Clipping, but just like as a concept record in general. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was never too huge on Clipping, but this record really, really does it for me. And coming in at number 1, my album of the year for 2020 is one that might be a surprise, was kind of a surprise for me, how much it grew on me too, was Charli XCX, How I'm Feeling Now. Now, this one lands at number 1 because I revisited it more than any other record in 2020. These just like futuristic hyperpop bangers just continued to grow on me. And, you know, I guess if I'm looking back at 2020 overall and like what it was and, you know, what this record was, how she conceived it during quarantine. She had a collaboration with her fans for a lot of the art direction. A lot of the lyrics on this album, I mean, it all kind of just encompasses what it felt like for me to live in 2020. You know, wanting to be with people again and just kind of like, you know, spending money, getting bored, whatever. I mean, I don't know. This one does it for me. I think if I was to look back at all the records that came out, like what represented everything in 2020 the best. So that's going to do it. That's my album of the year for 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're still with me here, it was a little bit longer. You're the real ones. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your album of the year is if you want in the comments down below. I will be back soon. I have some more record reviews to do. So that's going to be coming, so stay tuned for that. But hope you guys are all doing well. Have a really safe and happy holiday with your friends and family. I really appreciate everyone that watches. Peace.